Snails are soft-bodied mollusks that are known for their coiled shells and slow movement. They belong to the class Gastropoda and are found in both aquatic and terrestrial environments. Here's an overview of snails. Snails have a soft, segmented body with a hard, coiled shell that provides protection. Some species, like slugs, do not have shells or have very small ones. Their body is divided into two main parts, the head-foot region, which includes sensory organs like tentacles and eyes, and the visceral mass, which contains internal organs. Snails have a muscular foot that helps them move, secreting mucus to aid in locomotion and reduce friction. Snails move by gliding along surfaces using a muscular action called creeping on a layer of mucus. This helps them avoid injury and allows them to navigate different terrains. Their movement is slow, with some species capable of moving only a few inches per minute. Snails are primarily herbivores, feeding on plant material, algae, and decaying organic matter. Some species are carnivorous, feeding on smaller invertebrates or even other snails. They use a specialized feeding structure called a radula, a tongue-like organ covered with tiny teeth that scrape food from surfaces. Most snails are herbivores, feeding on a variety of plant material, including leaves, algae, and decaying plant matter. Garden snails, for example, are commonly found feeding on tender garden plants and vegetables. Some species, particularly marine snails, are carnivorous. These snails feed on other small invertebrates, including other snails. For example, the cone snail has a venomous radula used to capture and immobilize prey. Many snails are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. However, they still require a mate to reproduce. Snails lay eggs, which hatch into juvenile snails that resemble miniature versions of adults. Snail eggs can be found in clusters or individually, depending on the species. When snails hatch, they are fully formed and are able to move and feed, but they grow gradually over time, often increasing the size of their shell. Some species of aquatic snails can reproduce in water, while land snails lay their eggs in moist soil or under leaves to prevent desiccation. Snails are found in diverse environments, including forests, gardens, freshwater bodies, and the ocean. Aquatic snails live in ponds, rivers, and oceans, while terrestrial snails are commonly found in damp, shaded areas. Snails require moist environments because their bodies are prone to drying out, particularly terrestrial species. Snails use their hard shells for protection against predators. If threatened, some species can retract into their shells. Some snails, especially marine species, may secrete toxins as a defense mechanism. Their slow movement and ability to hide in shells also help avoid being caught by predators. Snails play important roles in ecosystems as decomposers, breaking down plant material and contributing to soil health. They also serve as food for many animals, including birds, fish, and mammals, making them important components of food webs. There are over 60,000 species of snails, ranging from tiny freshwater species to large land and marine varieties. Garden snail, Cornu aspersum, a common species in gardens, often considered a pest due to its consumption of plants. Apple snail, Pomatia canaliculata, an invasive species in many regions, particularly in freshwater habitats, known for its large size and rapid reproduction. Giant African land snail, Achatina achatina, known for being one of the largest snail species. This terrestrial snail can grow up to 12 inches in length and is commonly found in tropical regions. Cone snail, Conus species, a group of marine snails known for their venomous sting, which they use to capture prey like fish and other marine animals. Jade snail, Partula species, a critically endangered species found in Hawaii, which has been heavily impacted by habitat loss and the introduction of non-native species. While some snail species are abundant, others face threats from habitat destruction, pollution, and the introduction of invasive species. Conservation efforts focus on protecting rare and endangered species, such as the jade snail found in Hawaii, which is critically endangered due to habitat loss. Snails have been used by humans in various ways, from being a food source, such as escargot in French cuisine, to being part of traditional medicines in some cultures. They also have symbolic meanings in various cultures, representing qualities like patience and resilience due to their slow pace and protective shells. Snails are often used in scientific research due to their relatively simple anatomy and behavior, which can be studied to understand more complex biological processes. Some snails, like the garden snail, are model organisms in neuroscience studies due to their simple nervous system, which allows researchers to explore learning and memory. Marine snails, like the cone snail, have provided insights into neurotoxicology, as the venom of certain species has been studied for its potential medical applications, particularly in pain management. Snails are diverse creatures with intriguing behaviors and important ecological roles, from their contribution to nutrient cycling to their status as food for many other animals. Despite their humble appearance and slow pace, they are vital to the balance of ecosystems and have even found significance in human culture and science.